A pretty big game in this little city of Reno, Nevada. They're at the Lawlor Event Center, New Mexico and Nevada. Chris Lewis, John Henson here with you. We get right to the lineups of this matchup. New usual starting five for New Mexico and for Nevada. They start big with Joel Armo trading back into the starting lineup. His second game in the starting five since his injury that caused him to miss 2 months. So he starts along with Price in the big front court. New Mexico squarely on the bubble. Eric Olin trying to chase what is Craig Neal's record for wins in the first year as a Lobo coach. That's 27. So he's 6 away from that. And the former coach at New Mexico, Steve Alford, now leading the way for Nevada. This is his 14th game that he's faced New Mexico. He's lost the last 5 after winning the first 8. All right, so let's dive into it. The big story in this one is New Mexico. They are squarely on the bubble, and our CBS Sports Bracketology has them among the last 4 in, so that is the headliner.
It's pretty simple for New Mexico. Win, and you're in. They've got San Diego State next. This is the first step. If they can get these next 2 games, and then have Utah at the end of the Utah State at the end of the season, I like their chances to get in as an at-large team.
It is a quad 1 opportunity for New Mexico here late in the season. We are 19 days until Selection Sunday. Amy Bonner, Tommy Nunez, Brian McNutt. 3 officials here on a Tuesday night. Underway from the Lawlor Event Center. Tayshawn Comer. He's a lead guard from Indianapolis, which, of course, if you're Steve Alford, it feels like you have to have a guard from Indiana. Nevada coming off of their best win of the year, knocking off first-place Utah State right here on Saturday. This is Weems, dips inside the paint and hits the fadeaway jumper.
Weems been playing well lately, shooting almost 70% from his last 2 games, so picking up right where he left off for this Wolfpack team.
He's a player at 6'5", shooting a team-high 51% from the floor. It was a huge comeback for the Lobos in their last game on the road at Fresno State. They were down 22 points in the first half of that one. Hopped inside, can't get it off the rim.
Interesting they have Price guarding Troll and not Hopped. Interesting to see what that matchup looks like down the stretch. That works out for Nevada in the long run.
Here's Armo trading with the basketball. This is just his 5th game back after missing 16 contests with a chest injury he suffered against Washington in the non-conference. Gomer on a string, takes the J. Strong, and one of the best rebounders in the country, Tomislav Buljan, lassos in his first.
You've got 2 of the best in the Mountain West right here in front of you today in Price and Buljan. This will be a fun matchup.
Buljan, bully ball, off front iron, and here comes Nevada. Weems running the wing, but lost it. It was last touched by Hop. Tommy Nunez makes the call. It stays here. Second meeting of the season between these teams. First one late January. New Mexico won it 80-73. Back and forth game, 7 ties, 15 lead changes. And it was New Mexico that overcame the 8-point deficit in the second half.
Nevada shot 26% from 3 that game. Hopefully a better percentage this time around.
Elijah Price takes and makes. That's just his 8th three-pointer made in 22 attempts. He's more of an interior force.
He's at the 4 tonight, so they're going to look to him a little more perimeter-oriented. That was a great shot by him, lined it up.
Jake Hall, leading freshman scorer in the Mountain West. Up that close to 16 per game. Fade away, might have been deflected. Buljan grabs the oak board. Joel's a sharpshooter, way off that time. We'll get into the difference between the 5 and the 4 as Weems drills it. He has 5 of the Wolfpack, 8 to start, 8-0.
Playing well lately, Weems getting off to a good start. And Mexico's got to figure something out offensively. Great defense, by the way, for Nevada, making every shot tough. You see the effect Armo trading is having on Buljan. It's been making it tough down here, there for him to finish and rebound.
Lobos 0 for 4 to start. Dayton Albury's the point guard. Crossover dribble, lost it in the lane. Buljan saves it, races to the iron. Armo trading, sends it away. And that's the interior force that they were missing for about 2 months.
Some of that physicality Coach Alford talked about, he brings to the table to help his team.
Comer. I would have let this crowd get into it. Close to a sellout here in Reno.
They're making a decision late. Set his team up for an easy finish with the assist.
We mentioned this starting lineup is a big one with Price at the 4, Armor traded, playing the center. And you're former elite big man. What is the difference in comfort for Price as Hop is called for the foul? Playing the 4 here versus the 5.
I switched from the 4 to the 5 in college and in the NBA, and the physicality is night and day. I actually talked to Price today, and with this foul here by Hop, just ran into him. Credit to Kemper Jr. for stopping, but continue that point. I talked to Price today. He said, look, I can do a lot more. I match up better against 4s. I rebounded better. So him at the 4, you saw that effect, him coming with armor trade on that backside for that bullion dunk and block.
Davis Miller and JT Rock into the game for New Mexico. A couple of subs from Eric Olin. The Lobos do have those big men, right, with Bullion and then Rock off the bench. So how do these teams match up size for size as Nevada turns it over? Uriah Tenet, another reserve for Coach Olin. So the 3 players off the Lobo bench, they only play 8 deep on most occasions. All late have entered. Here's Tenet.
Great half-court defense right now by Nevada.
Hall, tough look. Tried to shoot it over the length of Price.
Armor Trader looks like he's a little tired. They said his conditioning would be a factor, but right now, I mean, he's physical down there. He's a big factor for this Nevada team while they're up 8-2 early.
So far, the 5 field goal attempts for the Wolfpack. 4 of them have been from behind the arc, which is typical for a team that faces New Mexico. They allow about half their opponent's shots from 3. Price. The acceleration down the baseline, and he's fouled en route to the hoop. So that leads to the first stoppage. So Davis Miller was in the area. We'll see if he's the guilty party.
Nice drive by Price. Yep. And gets his hands in there, not going straight up.
It was Miller who gets called for the foul, his first. Second on New Mexico. So the Mountain West standings, and the Lobos, thanks to their win against Fresno State, San Diego State falling over last weekend to Colorado State, Utah State suffering the setback to Nevada. They are just 1 game back of first place in this conference. And don't count out Nevada. They are 3 back of Utah State. They can climb, though. Opportunity today to gain a game on New Mexico, where they have a very favorable schedule down the stretch.
They need some help, Nevada, but the stakes are high this game. Nevada needs to try to get in position at the best sitting they can possible for the Mountain West tournament. And New Mexico, they've got to keep winning. They're 1 game behind, and if all things stay the same, New Mexico will be able to potentially knock Utah State off at home. Tough, easier said than done, but it is possible.
Yeah, you're just taking a look at what New Mexico has to finish with. Right now on that bubble, CBS Sports Bracketology has them last 4 in. This is a quad 1 opportunity. And then you look at what's upcoming. Lobos, Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern on CBS. They take on San Diego State at the Pit. That one you know will be absolutely crazy. So that's the one that you have to circle on the calendar. After that, they take on Colorado State, which is right now the hottest team in the conference. The Rams, winners of 5 straight entering today. And then they finish it out, you mentioned it, against Utah State on the road. So, yeah, they're on the bubble right now, but how they play in these upcoming games, tonight included, will dictate their fate as the season winds down.
We've got 11 days, as we like to say, we got to lock in. They got to lock in and understand what comes with this pressure of making it a tournament. But the good thing, like Coach Olin said, hey, look, we control our destiny. We don't have to look out for anybody else or hope someone loses. We win our games, we get in.
And we talked to Eric Olin at shoot-around today, and the thing he mentioned, even though his team is young, we'll get into the 3 elite freshman scorers that they have. He was not afraid to talk about the stakes of these games and life on the bubble. He says, hey, if I don't discuss it with them, they'll figure it out on social media anyway these days. He'll find it on your phone. So you might as well be direct with the guys this day and age. And they're ready for it. Bryce was fouled before the break. In and out on the first of 2. He's a 75% free throw shooter. Preseason All-Mountain West. He was in this conference a season ago with Fresno State, playing for Vance Walberg.
Coach Olin might not like what he sees early. He's went to his bench, Miles Walker and Rock, pretty early into the match. So we'll see how that fares this game. And Hall stays in. He's saying, look, when things go bad, we got to keep Hall in the game. Let's see if they run something for him.
Yeah, Caleb Lowry in for Nevada. He's been a starter for a good chunk of the year when Armo Trading was dealing with his injury. And Tyler Rollison, another reserve guard who plays big minutes, gets called for the first foul.
A lot of trust right there for New Mexico, clearing out the side for Paul to go one-on-one. Coach Olin talked about how he's been more of a creator lately for his team. That was an opportunity right there for him to create for himself or others.
Right there, Hall, freshman scorer. He comes in just 4 points shy of tying the Mountain West freshman scoring record. Held by Brandon McCoy, UNLV. Set it back in 2018. Scoreless so far. Ball in his hands here. He's defended by Weems and throws it away.
That used to be kind of a pet peeve of mine, man, when I played. When you're coming out and the clock's running down, you can't come back door. Miscommunication by Tannett and Hall. 2 freshmen showing their inexperience right there.
They're relying on you to create late in the shot clock.
Hey, listen, a dribble handoff. Look, you got a guy coming. He goes back door. You lose.
Former UNC great John Henson, Chris Lewis here in Reno. Deflected out of bounds. Will stay on this end. New Mexico 21-6, 12-4 in the Mountain West.
Nice block. Oh, blocked by Rock, or maybe Camper Jr. lost it. Either way, I think that goes in the stats of blocked by Rock. It does.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota product. Camper Jr. mid-range bucket is good. He leads the team in scoring, top 4 in the conference, just shy of 18 per game. Backdoor, nobody had Uriah Tannett, who just missed it. Nobody around him.
Tough break right there. Kind of loaded up for that layup and allowed the defense to catch up to him and affect that. Probably should have just went up quickly. He's one of the most athletic guys on the court. Just a quick finish. I don't know if he thought he was going to try to dunk it or... Camper right here coming around the corner. Nice stop and pop is what we call that. Right here, he kind of waits for the defender off too, and I don't know if he saw Weems behind him, kind of scared him a little bit. He's got to go quickly finish that amongst those trees.
Looked at his hands like what happened was. Foul on JT Rock. The last whistle, his first personal. 8-point lead, Nevada. Bryce, rainbow trigger. Rebound deflected out. Rollison sends, gets it back. Nobody picks him up.
Dodges some bullets right there. Price with the 3. He hit one earlier. The next one's going up for sure.
So Davis Miller tries. Camper Jr. chases the rebound. It deflects out, and Weems, who's had a strong start, on the run. Spin, beautiful Price. Knocked away, Rock the interior presence. Price regathers and is fouled. And if that's Rock, that would be number 2. I think they do. They hit the big man.
Right here. Looks like Hawk just trying to get out the way. Oh, he reached in. He's got to keep his hands high if you're Rock. You have him dead to right. You're taller, you're bigger. Keep your hands up, make him finish over you like he did the first time.
So Rock back to the bench with 2 fouls. And Bouillon back in. New Mexico trying to get something going on offense. They're just 1 for 9 to start. Miller again. Too much. And Camper Jr. saves. Now 1 for 10 to begin. 0 for 4 from 3-point range.
One of the top scoring teams in the Mountain West. They've got to figure it out soon before Nevada gets on the board.
Very rarely do you see the Lobos held in check, especially this late in the game. Camper Jr. off on a 3. And Bullion, we talked about his rebounding prowess. He averages 12 points and 10 rebounds per game. Albury zooms to the rack, and he will be rewarded with a couple of free throws.
Albury putting pressure on the defense right here. Crossing over, getting to the rim. Understanding, hey, look, my team's struggling a little bit. I need to get to the rack, make something happen. And early in the season, he kind of was the guy the freshmen have taken over, but he still has that capability. He had 21 last game, the most he's ever had in a Mountain West game.
21 points, 8 rebounds, 7 of 10 for the floor against Fresno State, as you mentioned. But right now, there is a lid.
Man.
Similar to what we mentioned with Bryce, Albury, a transfer within the conference, was at Utah State a season ago. And does hit the second free throw. That's their first points in nearly 4 minutes. Joel Armo trading back in as Price heads to the bench. So Price was playing the 5 for that stretch. And now Armo trading takes his place.
Both teams struggling offensively right now. 4 of 12, 1 of 10 from the field. Kind of like a late season matchup, right? This game, it matters. Both teams are kind of playing like that, maybe a little tight early.
Late in the league, teams are familiar with each other. Lowry just sprayed it past the rim. Tanet, just 5'11", but a dynamic scorer off the bench at 10.5 points per game. He's the leading Mountain West scorer off the bench. That low knee-high dribble takes the elbow J. It's short. Nevada still leading by 7. The defensive theme to begin it in Reno. Another foul away from the ball. This is an offensive foul. They get Armo trading.
Looked like he grabbed his leg on that. Love the physicality, though, what he's bringing to the table. Sometimes you got to get a foul like that. Let Bullion know, listen, you're not throwing me around today, big fella. I'm here.
The game within the game at 11:55 to go here in this first half. Again, a slow start for the Lobos. Just 1 for 11 from the floor. And Nevada has that 7-point lead. So, John, your observations through the first 8 and change.
You know, credit to Nevada playing really tough half-court defense. Armo trading's being very loud and communicating with his guards on the pick and roll. So, you know, credit to them. And then, you know, on the other side, taking threes, getting open shots, not hitting them. I think this game is going to maybe turn for the team that starts hitting shots first.
Well, these teams have had twists and turns in their meetings over the years. This is the 27th all-time meeting between the two. Nevada leads at 14-12, but New Mexico, they have won 5 in a row. Get this, it's been a streaky series. The first 7 meetings, New Mexico was 6-1. The next 14, Nevada, 13-1. And then these last 5, it swung back to New Mexico, 5-0. And in this stretch, boy, have there been some classics. Last year, Nemley Jr. Joseph at the pit, a buzzer beater. That one was a crazy game. 2024, Jamal Mashburn Jr., he had a game-winning shot. You go back to 2023, Keaton Blackshear had a buzzer beater. There was also the 2 overtime flagrant foul upset that Nevada had right here against New Mexico. So I'm telling you, in this conference, you have a lot of great series head-to-head. San Diego State, Boise State's played some good ones. Colorado State, Wyoming's a great rivalry. This one isn't your traditional rivalry by, you know, geographic standards, but there have been some high-stakes, classic meetings over the years between these two.
Just 2 top-tier mid-major programs. That is what you're getting with these 2 programs, and they've got 2 great coaches. I mean, Coach Alford, right, he is the highest win percentage in school history. So just great battles down the stretch. It seems like one team when one team gets a lead on the other, they don't take it lightly. They keep going.
Well, of course, Steve Alford, he knows a little bit about both of these programs. Of course, with New Mexico, head coach there, 2007 and 2014. He was the conference coach of the year 3 times and led New Mexico to 3 NCAA tournament berths. 1 for 11 from the floor. Can the Lobos find the net? Tough switching defense, though, for Nevada. Albury spins. Armo training comes, but Albury got it off the glass in time.
Oh, my goodness. I kind of leaned back on that one. That was a high-level finish. And
you went a little fat, Joe.
I thought Armo Trader was going to get that. I mean, that was a beautiful finish.
There's contact up towards the head of Tenet. That's an offensive foul. So Corey Camper Jr. swinging that elbow.
I mean, look at this finish. Armo Trader's right there, and just a little too late. Spin and just game's a matter of inches. But I still love what he's doing. He's bringing a presence down there. I'm just watching him, seeing his health. I mean, kind of his fatigue, and if he can keep his win right, man, they're going to be a tough team to beat down the stretch.
Starting center to begin the year, and then chest injury against Washington caused him to miss 16 games, pretty much 2 months of game action. And this is another offensive foul. So Bullion against Armo Trading. I know you love this game. I'm calling this game with the center, and the big men in this one have been fighting.
Good old-fashioned Mountain West battle with two of the better bigs in this league. Bullion's having a tough time with Armo Trading right there with his physicality. I don't think he's going to be able to kind of bully him. He may have to work on maybe some more skilled moves to get around, not through.
Interesting. The officials coming together here, telling the teams to go back to the benches. Maybe they might take a look at something. We'll get the explanation. So the explanation from Brian McNutt came over and said, this is not a challenge, this is not an appeal, this is the officials going over themselves to take a look at this last action and make sure there was nothing flagrant.
Hey, listen, it's one of those things. I didn't see anything, you know, egregious, but I'm not that close. So.
It's a pretty big game in this little city, Reno, Nevada, the Lawlor Event Center. Expecting a lot of bodies in these seats, close to a sellout expected. It's New Mexico and Nevada. New Mexico squarely on the bubble, and right now getting tested in the early going against a Nevada team coming off of their best performance of the season. Chris Lewis, John Henson here with you. Now Eric Olin, he's in his first year with the Lobos. He's actually chasing Craig Neal's record for New Mexico wins in a first season. He's 6 away from Neal's record. Of course, Neal on the sidelines with Nevada. As an assistant for Steve Alford, who was the coach at New Mexico from 07 to 2014. This is his 14th game facing New Mexico. He's dropped 5 in a row after winning the first 8 against his former team. So the headline, though, is New Mexico. They are the team that is on the bubble of the NCAA tournament. CBS Sports Bracketology has them right now amongst the last 4 in, which makes this not just a big game for these two teams. This is a big game for all teams across the country on the bubble.
Yeah, you know, New Mexico, they're in a fortunate spot to where, hey, look, if we win, we're in. They control their own destiny. They don't need anyone to lose or something wonky to happen. So that's all you can ask for right now. Coach Olin talked about it. He said, listen, it's on the table. Our team knows about it. But this pressure that we have this last week or so of the season is going to help us down the stretch, because in March, every game's going to matter. We might as well start now.
All right, to catch you up, you're just tuning into this game, wondering why is everybody standing around? Why are the officials?
Coach Alford is like, come on, let's play the game. And you know.
So there was a foul on Tomislav Bullion, an offensive foul on New Mexico, and they are reviewing as to whether this should be upgraded to a flagrant.
As called, common fouls each way.
So they're actually taking a look at two calls. One on the end where Nevada was shooting, one on the end where New Mexico was shooting. So fouls that were both offensive on the last two possessions, and they ruled that they were both common fouls. So there you go for the last sequence as to why everybody was standing around. Now to catch you caught up on what has happened so far in this game. It's been an ice cold start for New Mexico shooting. They're just 2 of 12 from the floor. Nevada not much better, 4 of 13, but they've at least established something to build this 5-point lead. Comer, pull-up jumper, left elbow wide. That might have been deflected.
I hope it was, Chris. Haven't seen something off the left top of the glass in a while.
Lobos 12-4 in the Mountain West, 1 game back of Utah State for first. Wolfpack 2 back in the loss column, but a very favorable Mountain West schedule down the stretch. Interior passing, Bullion, who is a bully on the interior. Albury dishes. Hot takes the 3 off the back rim. New Mexico now 0 for 5 from 3.
That's what they want to do, get 2 feet in the paint and kick out. They didn't hit the 3, but that's what New Mexico wants. They want to shoot the 3 by drawing in the defense, by getting into the paint.
Vaughn Weems slows it down off the front of the rim, and then a whistle. That's a foul on Weems. That is his first. So the Mountain West standings, we hinted at it. New Mexico in a tie with San Diego State, 1 game back of Utah State. Top 4 get a bye in the Mountain West tournament. Don't count out Nevada making a run. If they win here, they get a game on New Mexico. And you look at down the stretch of the season, at UNLV, at Wyoming, and against Air Force, they have a chance to gain some ground.
1 game at a time for Nevada. They've got to get ready for this Mountain West tournament. That's going to be their way into the tournament this year.
Joel is short on the jumper, and really anything from outside the paint has been off the mark for the Lobos.
Just great defense by both sides. Tough shots, long twos, contested shots at the rim. You can tell this game really matters, and you're seeing a healthy Nevada team. You know, who knows if they were healthy throughout the season, what they would be.
Either team getting it going. Nevada almost 5 minutes without a point. Weems stuck. Price doubled. Albury's help timed well. And here's Bullion. A bowling ball at 6'9", 250 running the floor. Might have been better served giving it up.
Almost complimented on the handle, and then the turnover happened.
And Weems glides through the air. He gets fouled. It's on Chol. That is foul number 1 on the wing for the Lobos.
Nice drive by Weems. Nobody guarded him, no communication. Chol has to get him late, and Weems has been the guy that's kind of been the aggressor offensively lately for this team. Kind of the only guy getting to the rim and getting some good shots.
He has a team-high 5. And we brought up Nevada, their best performance, their best result against Utah State as JT Rock comes back in for the Lobos with his 2 fouls. Nevada knocked off first place Utah State. They led for only a total of 6 minutes in that game. They were down 68-60 with 7 minutes left, but had the closing kick to knock off number 1 in the league.
They just kept coming, and Utah State just couldn't hold the fort down, and they eventually overtook them.
Now, speaking of comebacks, New Mexico, their largest comeback in school history. They were down 22 in the first half against Fresno State. How did the ball get stuck in the net like that? I have never seen the ball get stuck like that unless we're playing on the playground.
Those fresh
nets
nets
are too thick.
Those are fresh nets right there. You gotta loosen those things up.
Jake Hall leads it in. They were down 22 in the first half of that game. Roared back and won it 80-78. Armor trading knocked away. The freshman Hall comes away.
Big fella put the ball down. That's where the guards can take it.
Albury, the muscle, the hustle. And Albury's been carrying the load for the Lobos. He has 7 of the team's 9.
Not talked about lately because of the emergence of Hall, but you know, he's been a guy, man, that he's been one of, if not their best player down the stretch these last few games.
And that Mountain West career high last time out of 21 points. Camper Jr., who's 4th in the conference in scoring, misses wide. And here comes Albury, step-through move, sets up Joel from the corner. Oh, board, hot saves. Hall dishes, Albury, jab step, defender falls. Everything but the bucket.
Just not falling for both teams today. That type of game late in the season, They're on a road trip. They just got to figure it out offensively.
Circus layup attempt, Comer no. And Rock, 2 hands on the ball. Don't let those little guards come in and take it away. Ball pull up Jay, transition 3. And Jay Call is now the freshman all-time leader in scoring in the Mountain West. He passes Brandon McCoy 279 points in a freshman season. The former UNLV star has been overtaken. And we are tied at 12 with 7:10 left.
Need a bucket, better call Hall. That's his nickname. I wonder which one is his favorite. I'll try to ask him.
Of course, you have to have the Albuquerque connection there. Price pull up Jay is true. He scored 10 points or more, and now 6 straight, comes in averaging just shy of 13 a night. Hall, elbow pull-up. He's known for his shot fake, which allows him to create that separation. That time just went with the pull-up, but it's off of Price and out of bounds. What a start for Dayton Albury, doing everything he can to carry the Lobo offense. But the leading scorer on the team and one of the best freshmen in the Mountain West. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal. And this is the big one towards March. New Mexico squarely on the bubble, down 2 in the early going. Thanks for staying up late with us, alongside former UNC great John Henson. I'm Chris Lewis. So to highlight the importance of this one, CBS Sports Bracketology has New Mexico amongst the last 4 in, which makes this huge for not only the Lobos, but a bunch of teams around the country.
Yeah, you saw early in this game, New Mexico's a little tight early on. Maybe that had to do something with it, the pressure of the moment. It seems like they've settled down now. We can see some good ball. They've got to win this game. This game puts them out, and then San Diego State coming up, they'd have to win that. So, look, win and you're in. I know it sounds cliche, but that is what New Mexico needs to do right now, early.
And New Mexico has some opportunities down the stretch. This is a quad 1 game against a team inside the top 75 of the net on the road. Both teams in this game 5 for 20 shooting. We have our producer, Brian Sealing. He's back in the Northeast New York area. I know it's a little chilly there. I think that's carried over to the offenses here in Reno. Weems dives on the deck. The hustle, but a little pack guard saves possession.
Impressed by Weems also to kind of shield off Hall and grab that ball. Won't be talked about, but 50-50 balls matter. Extra possessions in a tight game like this could be how a team wins or loses at the end of a game.
Sidestep, Camper Jr. He's been shooting over 50% from 3 over the last 6 games, 45% on the season.
Massive emphasis in New Mexico shoot-around for him.
Excellent ball movement. Rock, 7'1", tried for it all, and he gets fouled.
Okay, big fella, come take it down the lane. Trying to Statue of Liberty right there. Look, that's an aggressive take you have to do as a big man to put the onus on the ref to call a foul.
He went rock climbing.
Nice ball move right here, kick out. Price doesn't need to run out on JT Rock like that. He's not a three-point shooter, just a mistake by Price. Putting himself in a bind and almost getting his teammate dumped on.
Rewarded with a couple of free throws. The foul on Weems is his second, so that's a big call. He remains in the game with the 2 fouls.
New Mexico is 14-1 when Rock scores 5+ points. Something to keep an eye on down the stretch as this game continues.
9 games played in a couple of years at Iowa State for TJ Otzelberger. Now here for Eric Olin in his first year with New Mexico. Olin came over from UC San Diego, spent nearly 2 decades there, 12 as a head coach. And took UC San Diego to the NCAAA tournament last season. Weems with the help from Tenet. Off the glass, misses. Volleyball off the backboard, Weems saves. Price races to the rim and dances around the iron, but falls out.
Looked like he wanted to dunk that, but credit to Rock. Getting up there and challenging him, might have hit him on the hand. Ref didn't see it.
Jeanette has a blinding first step. Stuck in the lane, needs to get out. Camper Jr. knocks it out of bounds. With 5:01 to go in the first half.
Nice drive right here. Looks like Rock may have got him. Oh, he tipped it a little bit. Wow. Nice block by Rock right there. Using his size to affect that shot. At the 5, a lot of Price at the 5 right now. I'm sure he's hoping this big fella armor trader is getting some rest so he can get back at that 4.
If you're just joining us, Nevada, they started Joel Armo trading for the second time since his injury, where he missed a couple of months, 16 games. Another whistle with 4:58. They get Rollison for his second, which meant Price started this game at the 4. And we talked to Coach Steve Alford at shoot-around today, and he said it is a key down the stretch to get Price to play more of the power forward position, as he's had to carry the load at center for a good chunk of the year with the injuries.
I switched from power forward to center when the NBA did their whole small ball thing, and it was night and day, the physicality at the 5 spot. That's how centers eat, rebounds and crashing the glass. It's an every possession thing when you're at the 5.
Front end, 1-and-1, short. So you like playing the 4 better?
Oh, I love playing the 4 better. 5 was, had to guard guys like Joel Embiid.
Now Price gets the help of Joel Armo trading.
I set you up for that one. I did it on purpose.
And now Price manning the 5. Camper Jr. tiptoes the baseline. One-handed push shot. Perfect.
Good drive by Camper Jr. Figuring it out. Hey, look, they're trying to run me off the line, attack the rim, but if you're New Mexico, you live with those tough 2 finishes.
Pop is set away. Price playing the 5 with an emphatic rejection. Pull up Miles Walker, front iron, and Rock with one hand just lassos that ball in. Points at a premium in this game as Walker bumps to net. And that is team foul number 8. So more free throws at 1-and-1. Saturday, 10 Eastern, Nevada back in action. They take on UNLV Silver State Series in the Mountain West right here on CBS Sports Network. John and I will be on hand for that one in Vegas. Walker gets called for the foul. That's his first. Jariah Coleman, he's in at the big position. A 6-year player. Transfer from St. Francis, although he's been a member of the Wolfpack now for 3 seasons. So the 3rd player who you classify as a center, used by Coach Alford.
Interesting that Armo trading doesn't go back in. You know, wonder if he's a little tired or maybe played a little more than Coach Alford wanted him to early.
Jariah Coleman, he's from Anchorage, Alaska, and his nickname on the team, of course, being from Alaska, is Moose. Also helps that he's big and hard to move.
Right.
On the inside.
Big-time athlete, too. Be on the lookout for that.
Bryce lofts it. Athletic feet to catch it. Albury ahead of the pack to Javis Miller. His first bucket of the game, and New Mexico has the lead, 18-16. Their first lead of the ball game.
Coach Alford going deep into his bench, maybe trying to figure out the right combination for his team struggling offensively.
Camper Jr., he's bumped to net. Foul starting to pile up. Lobos on the run. All set up from Albury's catch. It's Miller time for New Mexico.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. By Jeep. There's only one. And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
4 different Mountain West champions in the last 4 years in the regular season. Last season, New Mexico, that was a loaded team. Richard Pitino is the head coach. Donovan Dent, the star player of that team. And now it's Eric Olin's job to get New Mexico right back in that same spot, one game back of first place. Utah State with 2 weeks left in the Mountain West regular season. Corey Camper Jr. at the free throw line. Two-time Mountain West Player of the Week. He's fourth in the conference in scoring, fourth in threes made. After spending a couple of years at UTEP, he's been the breakout scorer for Nevada.
Getting the other team's best defender every night, still thriving with something Coach Alford complimented him on earlier today at shoot-around.
Every morning, he has workouts with assistant coach and former Nevada player Jared Lucas. They work on shooting, they work on reads in the pick and roll, they work on off-ball movement. And Jared Lucas, a great guy to learn from. He did it in this league for a couple of seasons at a high level. Could also shoot it. That's Camper Jr. off the ball. So exactly what we were discussing and what he spends every morning doing with Jared Lucas. Draws the bump. And we'll go to the line for the 1-and-1. There is Mr. Lucas. He joined the staff late. It was actually Kyle Guy who was the assistant coach for Steve Alford. And then Guy got the call from the NBA, an Exhibit 10 deal. So he went off to continue his professional career. And then the first call Coach Alford made was, hey, how about to get my former guard back in here, Lucas. I'm sure he has a few words of wisdom.
I actually played against him in the AAU days back in the day, so it was good to see him before the game and chat with him. We're all grown up now.
Neither of you could probably jump as high as you did back in those star AAU days.
No chance.
Run as fast. But we did see Lucas playing, after Nevada shoot-around. He was getting it in. Could still definitely launch it. Miller for Bouillon, left of the lane. He spins on Coleman. Bouillon sent away. The Nevada interior defense continues to be a factor.
Nice patient move, but just the length of big moves affected Bouillon on that finish.
Tried to pay it off offensively. Hall 2-on-2. Slows it down with the decel and lays it in.
Deceleration, kind of the new theme. Right there, nice finish. Seeing if Coleman was going to come for the block, he didn't, and finished it right down the lane.
Sure that throws off the timing of a shot blocker like yourself. Great cut. Amir Robinson's first two. Junior from Akron, Ohio.
Offense starting to open up a little bit for both teams. A lot of cutting. Getting inside. Teams not settling for threes. Understanding there's been a lid on the basket.
Still a lid from distance. Just 1 for 9 from 3 for New Mexico. Bryce wants it. Double on him. And then Hall, freshman, tips the pass. Getting into that passing lane. Leads to a turnover. Albury on the run. Already 7 points. Wants more. Knocked away and off the body of Albury. Not giving up on a play. And New Mexico turns it over. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Brett Stover, Chris Walker, Emeka Okafor, Steve Lapis. That's caught up on all the action around college basketball. Coming up on AT&T at the half. And Tayshawn Comer saved that. I know Comer's used to fighting. He grew up around 8 siblings. So you take nothing for granted.
Feisty player, one of the best in assist rate in the country. Really good point guard for them. Doesn't turn the ball over. I know Coach Alford wanted more from his point guards. He spoke about it last week. He's getting that in these last few games.
Comer tried to use the pump fake on shot fake Jake. A little taste of your own medicine. But Hall, that's the second time in as many possessions that he got his call on the basketball.
Armor trading back in. Coleman stole some valuable minutes for Nevada. Got a nice block shot, so Armor Trading can, get his wind, and he's come back from injury. So that was good to see by Nevada coach Alford trusting his bench.
They go 10 deep. Shot clock at just 3. Lowry knocked away from him. Price got it off in time, but nowhere close. And New Mexico locks all windows and doors. A shot clock violation. 6th Nevada turnover.
Timeout call, New Mexico.
Timeout called by New Mexico. With 41.2 to go, we'll step aside, be back in 30. (21-20) in a low-scoring first half. Nevada leads as we took a look at the Jeep, AP, top 10, Duke, demolition over Notre Dame right at the top. Couple of close games. Arizona, they were close. Michigan had a test from Nico Medved, former Mountain West coach at Colorado State's Minnesota squad.
CBS comes out with the top 16 and it changes within an hour. So we'll have to look at that again when this week is over.
I do like the bracket update, what it would be if the tournament started today, the top 16. I think that's a really good thing. To that three, he hits. So New Mexico gets their second 3.5. Season low for 3.5 is 3, so they still have one more to match that. But it's 23-21. New Mexico leads, and Nevada uses their use it or lose it, and will return in 30. Bubble madness, really the theme of this one. New Mexico among CBS Sports bracketology, last 4 in. This is a quad 1 opportunity on the road against the top 75 net team in Nevada. And right now, after trailing most of the first half, they lead it by 2.
I'd imagine a camper type of screen is going to come where he's low and comes high, potentially trying to get him a shot or his teammate open. To net defense, Comer. Ghost screen, Comer. Fade to his right, it's true. 3 seconds left. To net, races up the floor. Step through move. Don't think he got that one off in time. Off the back of the rim, and we're tied at 23 at the end of 20 minutes. That was a tough shot by Comer.
Look, using his teammate coming off a screen to drive with the defensive attention. Tied at the half. We've got a ball game.
End of the first half. After the break, we'll send it over to Brent Stover and the crew in New York. Tied at 23. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal. New Mexico fans are familiar with the work of Jalen House. That first half was a brick house. Tied at 23. Both teams struggle for the floor. Chris Lewis, John Henson. Now, it took an expert to score anything against these great defenses. As we get to experts at work, it's brought to you by Principal. And it's the leading scorers for both these teams coming into this game. Hall for New Mexico and Camper for Nevada.
These are two guys that did have a little bit to do with the scoring. Hall coming in on a heater, been playing well lately. And then Camper Jr., who typically shoots threes, has been getting it inside the paint because New Mexico was running him off the line.
First half stats, we said it, wasn't great for offenses. It was at first New Mexico struggling to find anything, and then Nevada hit a run, and it all adds up to 23. So with this clearly being the style of this game, physical, defensive oriented, which of these teams does that favor?
You know, I'm going to go with New Mexico on the road, right? You survived that first half, that bad first half offensively, the physicality. Bouillon wasn't as effective as he usually is. So I'm going to lean with the team that is better offensively and hold true to what they are defensively. They are one of the best three-point defending teams in the country. They held true to that in the first half and look to do that in the second.
One of the crazier things about New Mexico is Albury dribbles it off his body and out of bounds. You talked about their three-point defense. They're top 10 in the nation, allowing just 29% from deep. But their opponents shoot a lot of threes against them. Almost 50% of the opponent's shots against New Mexico are threes. So it's almost like how do you put one in the same?
Yeah, it's tough. They give up a lot of threes, but I think that's just effort and energy, right? Running guys off the line, challenging shots. That's how you have great three-point defense, never giving up on the play.
Hall's a great three-point shooter for New Mexico. Finds Hop going backdoor, cut off by Camper. Camper slaps at the basketball to take it away. Weems running, Joel defends, step through move, off the glass and in.
Arbery flew. He almost jumped too high for that block. Credit to Weems, seeing him at the last second, pump faking, throwing off his timing.
Bullion trying to get that scoring punch back. He's been kept in check the last 3 games. And for Bullion, that is his first 2. It was 0 for 3 from the floor in the first half.
You've got to get him involved. He's a big factor for them offensively, taking the load off of Hall on the other end.
Camper is bumped. Chol, second foul. New Mexico a game back of first in the Mountain West. Tied with San Diego State for second. Nevada, they still have a run in them. Tied with Grand Canyon. They have the win against GCU. So in the head-to-head tiebreaker, the only meeting of the season between those teams, it goes in favor of Nevada. And they have a couple of favorable games to close, Wyoming and Air Force. 2 of the teams near the bottom of the Mountain West. So do not count out the Wolfpack. Weaves with the left, scoop shot short. Hall, hesitation move, glides past the defense, wrestled away by Comer, and the ball ricochets out of bounds to the sideline.
Comer's has some good hands this game. Hall tries to use the ball to create space. Comer does not come off it right. He tries to create space with the ball and goes right in Comer's hands.
Great positioning, and give me that.
Right. I don't even know if Comer was expected. He just looked down, it was in his right hand.
3rd turnover for Jake Hall. New Mexico is finally cleared, John, to 30% from the floor mark. It's been an uphill climb. Nevada shooting just 27%. Double team, and a great pass, arbitrating. Can't deliver the slam. And the old Chris Paul move, put on the brakes in transition. Hobbs gets fouled.
I mean,
by Weems.
Arbery up there in the treetops to get this block right here. Look at this block right here. Meet me at the top, big fella, is what Arbery said. He's a little arbitrated, he's a little frustrated right there, getting blocked by a guard. Thought he had a dunk there.
3rd foul on Weems. He heads to the bench. Yeah, Albury. Well, in a way, was just a miss, but no, Albury definitely got the ball there. And now free throws coming up for New Mexico as Comer gets called for his first.
Albury's saying, listen, we got Hall. He's our best player, but don't forget about me. He's doing it on both ends right now. He's bringing a little bit of energy to this New Mexico team that's struggling from the offensive side of the ball.
From the Bahamas, becoming a basketball hotbed. Albury misses. DeAndre Ayton, Eric Gordon, of course, Buddy Hield. They all played for Team Bahamas this past summer. B.J. Edgecombe as well, before his season at Baylor.
Could be a force, maybe coming up in these Olympics, qualifying. Those names are not a team I'm used to hearing on the Bahamas team, so credit to that. Those guys representing their country.
26-25, New Mexico by 1. Comer, a contested 3. And that was early in the shot clock with a hand in his face.
Kind of leaning right into what New Mexico wants to do.
No shot fake, Jake. It's just a Jake make.
He was hitting them for the logo before the game. You know, I had a game earlier in January, and until now, he's confident. He looks more confident. He's been playing better, like one of the best players in the conference.
He's the first player in this game to reach double figures. He has 10. Out of bounds, goes the other way.
One of the best shooters in the conference, and as of late, Price has to get out there and run him off the line. Jake Hall shooting 64%, 9 of 14 from 3 in this 3-game win streak.
Albury, push off, no call, rattles it down. And Dayton Albury has joined Hall in the double-figure club. And that's over the line. So a violation on Nevada.
Nevada's all out of shorts right now. They've got to, Comer's got to get his team together. He's talking to his guys now and say, hey, let's go. This is a big-time game. This matters. It's a mistake you can't make down the stretch in a low-scoring, low-possession game.
8th turnover, which have become a problem these last 3 games for Nevada. 44 turnovers in that stretch, 2 of them losses. San Diego State and San Jose State. Then they bounce back with a win against Utah State. Bullion O-board.
No looker.
Tennette wants 3. Front rim and over the backboard.
I would have liked for Bullion to go up with that. He was right under the basket. You know, maybe his confidence is a little low. He hadn't scored, or almost trade is affecting that. But the Bullion I saw a couple weeks ago would have went up with that. So it'll be interesting to see if he continues to be aggressive.
Came in as the team's 2nd leading scorer, but he's been kept in check, just 30% from the floor in the 3 games coming into this one. And he was scoreless in the first half. Price wants it, double comes, and what a stretch defensively for Tennette. That time knocks it out of bounds. It stays here with 7 to shoot.
Tennette's been kind of a roamer tonight. He's kind of been coming from behind and cheating on defense to try to get a steal. One of the top steal guys in the conference, after 1.5 steals a game off the bench.
Part of that freshman trio, 3 freshmen who average a double-figure scoring for New Mexico. Camper, too much, and hops high to get the rebound.
See what you did there.
Paul has the much bigger Price on him, takes it to the rim anyway, and then a foul as Armo Trading came in. Crowd grumbles as Armo Trading picks up his 2nd.
Right here, Hall attacks, gets the body. Armo Trading just a little off of the timing. Foul. New Mexico up 6.
Wittenberg, it's a long ways. They won it. There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes! Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship. Yes! Villanova, phenomenal. Suggs for the win. Oh, yes! Unbelievable!
Simply the best 3 weeks in sports. Of course, one of those moments at the Pit, the home of New Mexico, as we get to the last 4 in, first 4 out. CBS Sports bracketology, of course, updated the record as Missouri, TCU, they won today. Indiana lost. And New Mexico right in the fringes of this conversation really for the last few weeks. And Eric Olin has been direct with his team. It's a young team, a lot of freshmen who contribute. And sometimes you have coaches say with young teams, we don't like to go as big picture as we do with veteran teams. But Olin says, hey, if these guys, if I don't tell them, these guys will figure it out on their phones anyway, social media, etc. So it's better that we be direct with where we are in the stakes of each game going forward.
Coach Olin said, hey, look, there are 1,000 guys that would love to be in your position, right, to be in the bubble, be able to control the destiny, be able to potentially get an at-large bid outside of the Power 5.
10 straight scored by New Mexico, and it's been a while since Nevada has found the scoring. Camper along the baseline. He's cut off by Hawk playing defense. Camper Jr. retreats to the corner and cashes out. He needed it. First three-pointer of the game in 5 attempts for Corey Camper Jr.
Hits the toughest one to date with the challenge by Haupt. It's a great shot by Camper Jr. Great focus at the top of that release.
Tennette for the answer. Camper Jr. rebounds. That 3 ended what was a 10-0 New Mexico run. Peyton White into the game, setting the screen for the point guard Comer, who's fouled. Tennette has been a pest defensively. 2nd foul.
Right here, he misses the easy one and makes the hard one. You knew eventually was going to fall for him. He's a really good shooter, the best shooter by percentage in the Mountain West from 3.
4th in the conference in threes made. Bullion to the bench, and the big man JT Rock at 7'1", 255 pounds. Reinserted at center. This is a lineup where Elijah Price is playing the center for Nevada. They give it away. Price defending on the ball. How about this? You have a 6'9" forward defending the 5'11" guard, and Hall gets a 3 out of the exchange.
Jeanette, 2 feet in the lane, kick out. Coach Alford said that is what we cannot let New Mexico do. They've been doing that the last few possessions, hence why they're up 8 points.
Hall getting loose in this second half. Underneath, Price is right, and a foul.
Great patience by Price down there, trying to get JT Rock, who's a bigger player, off his balance. Right here, this drive by Jeanette, come in the lane, 2 feet, kick out. 3 ball by Hall. Right here, just patience right here. This is the toughest thing as a young big when I was coming up, just having the patience down there, down low. Does a great job of getting Rock off balance and finishing through contact.
Hits the free throw there after missing a pair. That patience just comes from game reps.
Game reps and just, you know, the more you play and understand. I wasn't necessarily the offensive go-to guy, so I was nervous down there, man, trying to get one up.
Uriah Tenet, no nerves. One of 3 freshmen averaging 10 or more. Tenet, Bullion, and Hall have been the talk of the town in the Mountain West. Freshman production. Camper, a tough 3 with Hopt closing out strong.
Great challenge right there. Got to tip your hat if Camper Jr. makes that one.
7-point lead, New Mexico. The team that's a game back of first place in the Mountain West. Tied with San Diego State for second behind Utah State. Miller finds Hall, shot clock at 5. Rollison defends, reach it, count it, and 1! It's Hall ball in Reno.
He is what we call in his bag right now. Rollison kind of gets into him a little bit, right? He searches the contact, kind of an NBA move. Joker kind of cups his hand to shoot the ball with Rollison in the cookie jar. Finishes. High-level move going to the left at the end of the shot clock right there.
Rollison says, how? Paul says, give me 2 more. Now 10 points in this second half after missing the free throw. It's funny, he is on pace for that, you know, classic 50, 40, 90 type of season. Those are the magic numbers. He's 50, 45, and he's below 80% from the line, just 78%. Price step through move, bumped to the deck, and fouled. No basket.
Nice Euro right here from Price. Get the contact on the, right here, nice Euro step. Gets Rock kind of behind, and he has reach over.
A nifty forward, versatile, can bounce up to the 5. Tremendous rebounder.
And has a gift for getting to the line. Number 3 in the country at free throw rate, which is pretty impressive.
Big number 3 on Rock, by the way.
Okay.
And 2 at the line for Price. Now in double figures for his 7th straight game. And we talked about his rebounding. He had 19 rebounds in a game earlier on this season. It was another impressive fadeaway jumper by the spark plug off the bench. Uriah Tenet has been excellent.
2 freshman guards leading the charge right here. Now, the normal day, I'd say it would be a bright future for New Mexico, but, you know, it's hard to keep guys these days. But right now, having 2 freshmen lead your team, that's rare in college basketball.
Uh-oh, Price has that look. Take over time for the preseason All-Mountain West forward. Came over from Fresno State last season. Put up 10 points and 8 boards a game there. Hall, crafty, fadeaway J, front rim.
Good D by Weems. Maybe size and length might be the key to stopping Hall.
Price continues to roll. Yes, sir! Elijah Price polarizes, and Nevada within 4.
If you're JT Rock, you have to understand he's hit 1 free already. He's hit a jump shot already. You got to get out there. Don't let him line that 3 up. Just not knowing the game situation right here. Nevada fighting back in this crucial game down the stretch.
It's getting towards money time here in Reno, so no surprise it is Price that has decided to take over for the Wolfpack.
Right. I started shooting threes later in my career, and let me tell you something. The first one goes in for him today. He's 1 of 1. He shoots another 1 for 2. Then Price hits a kind of top of the key jumper. Listen, let me tell you something. If I hit 2 jumpers in a game, the third one's going up if I'm wide open. He shot that with confidence. He shot that, and he made it. JT Rock's kind of got to understand the game scenario. Hey, look, let's make him do something different. He's feeling it from out there.
Well, that's the question, right? Like, you have a guy in Price who came in with 7 made threes all season. He hit one earlier on. Now he's hit another. Like, at what point do you have to go against what was the scouting report coming in and make that adjustment?
The second jumper, you got to get out there. Because you see he's feeling it, especially from that spot. He's hit all his shots from the same spot on the court.
Price has the last 10 for Nevada.
It's been kind of the play that worked for them. Camper Jr. off the double stagger, fading, got the offense going.
That would have been huge for Weems to cut it to 1. Joel's been quiet. Somebody who can shoot it. 36% from 3, puts up 9 points per game. Albury's been loud. That time slapped away. Excellent timing by Camper Jr. 3 on 3 the other way. Rollison rumbles around the rim and out.
Got to push it right here. You're going to have numbers if you're New Mexico.
Shovel pass. Bullion. Stops in the lane. Albury turns down to 3. Sees the mismatch against Price. Although Price is up to the task.
Bullion's got to attack right here against a smaller defender.
Sees the player from Croatia draws 2. Steps around it. Pivot moves. That should be on YouTube. Tomislav Bullion.
He was swift right there, getting through that double team. Price and White cannot let him out of there.
He led the Croatian Premier League in rebounding, but that time that footwork led to a bucket and then a turnover, but over the head of Albury. So New Mexico and Tomislav Bullion in traffic. This is like Hakeem Olajuwon type footwork. I mean, look at this. Pivot
the
foot
step
rooted
through
into
there.
the
It's the
ground.
left, too. It's nice.
You're watching March to March, presented by Principal. (44-38), a good one. Late night here in the Mountain West. New Mexico and Nevada. Next Wednesday, 10 Eastern, these Lobos back in action. They'll take on Colorado State right here on CBS Sports Network. Be there at the pit for that one. The last home game of the regular season for New Mexico. Tournament chaos. All right, John Henson, these are your terms for why these teams could win the Mountain West tournament.
So, you know, we're going to start with, obviously, the cream of the crop. Utah State, talent and depth. San Diego State, they have a top-tier defense year in and year out, can always shut things down. And New Mexico, they're fantastic freshmen. And we got a dark horse. I'm going UNLV, the Fighting Rebels. I watched them come back on a Boise State team that was up 15-plus points to win in overtime. They never let down. I like how they play. We'll be watching them this weekend, actually calling the game, so it'll be fun to see.
Yeah, Colorado State, you saw them on that list. They are the hottest team in the league in terms of consecutive wins. Came in winners of 5 straight, so still a lot to be determined here these last couple of weeks of a fun conference that always gives you some magic in March. That's deflected, and that's that March hustle here in late February to try to save that ball by the sideline. Out of bounds, stays here.
It's kind of been one-dimensional offense right here as you see the hustle, the Albury. It's kind of been a one-dimensional offense for Nevada, kind of running Camper Jr. off screens with Price coming to screen, and they haven't been able to do much else. They need some other guys to maybe create. New Mexico's starting to lock in on that set.
Points have been hard to come by from the opening tip. Camper Jr. penetrates. Layup left it off the rim. How about the hustle from Weems? Lefty takes the 3 and rattles it home. You better call somebody, Von Weems. is in double figures.
Doing the same thing they did against Utah State, not going away, hitting timely shot after timely shot.
Shot big Jake. Defense did not bite. Shot clock down to 5. Albury sees the lane, attacks the crease with the bump. Book it.
That was a race to the rim right there. Almost trading. It's almost like he's hesitating because Bullion is behind him. He's got to trust his teammates are going to be there and go a little bit earlier. He's been a second late on these block shots. Right here, you got to go. You got to go. Bullion is at the elbow. He's been a second late, and that may be because his rhythm and timing being injured and just getting to the stretch. But if he goes a little earlier, he'll get those blocks that he's been missing today.
Third foul on Armo training. Albury, 79% free throw shooter. Second on the team in scoring in this one, 13 behind Jake Hall's 17. Bullion has 10 boards. 15 for Price to lead the way. He had a stretch of 10 straight points earlier on this half for Nevada. Lob, Armo training! Oh, Pat Roar with 9 minutes to go.
Right on time. Nevada getting some other production from other guys other than Camper Jr. and Price.
Bullion cut off. Nothing there, no whistle. Nevada on the run. Comer stops.
Got to get it to Price right here in this mismatch if they can.
Mid-range. Weems tips. Price saves. Wrestled away by Haupt. Finally a whistle from Tommy Nunez on the baseline. Bodies on the floor. Gotta love it late night in the Mountain West. Indication foul on Nevada.
Nice lob by here, Weems. Bullion gets caught in no man's land. If you're not going to stop the ball, you need to get back to your defender. Leads to this dunk by Armo trading. A little physical game. I don't know. Let it play.
Bullion thinks he got hit up high, and that might be what the officials want to look at.
Coach Alford has been on the refs to just look, let these guys play. Stop stopping the game because this team has the momentum right now. This is good for New Mexico to get Nevada to stop as they have kind of shored the game up.
Previous play is under review for a potential foul.
Amy Bonner running into a little mic trouble, but looking as to whether this is a flagrant foul. It might have been Price in that fight. We'll take another look.
Maybe you can get the Bullion kind of arm fling. It's two big bodies colliding. It happens.
Yeah. Foul on Price, his first. Seeing if this is worth upgrading to a flagrant.
I hope they get over this fast and play the game. I think this is just two guys just battling.
Hey, it's New Mexico, Nevada. Rewind the clock to a few years ago. I believe it was Boris Udeze. Key moment where there was a flagrant foul that decided an overtime game when these teams were playing one of their many close games in Reno. It helped Nevada end up pulling the upset in that game. New Mexico came into that contest ranked. Yeah, that was a flagrant foul. That was of great consequence. We'll see if this one is upgraded to a flagrant. The officials are all gathered around the monitor. Amy Bonner, Tommy Nunez, Brian McNutt. I always have to stop myself and not say Brian McKnight because that countdown song.
The common foul stands. There is no additional penalty. We'll inbound the ball off of the common foul.
So it doesn't start at 1, not a flagrant 1, just a regular old common foul.
Great song, by the way. Shout out to the Reno Ballers at halftime, right? I mean, well-coached squad out there. Some kids, I think, 10 and under. So I was working on my play-by-play.
Yeah, you're getting the reps. You'll be in the other chair in no time. I don't think I'm tall enough to be the analyst next to you, so don't count on it. So after just a common foul on Price, this crowd's still not happy about it. New Mexico leads by 4 with the ball. Albury, tough take to the basket. He's lost it a few times on the way to the rim. Weems got it to the glass. The touch needed to lay that one in, going full steam. Wolfpack cut the lead in half. Bullion wastes no time, flicks it home. The hoop and the arm for the big guy, Tomislav Bullion, and the 4th foul on Joel Armo trading.
Just being a little bit too handsy right here. Just get your chest there. Don't try to push off. You're big enough, strong enough. This is going to affect Nevada down the stretch right now. Their best interior defender, size presence on the bench. And now Price is going to have to move over to Bullion. And advantage New Mexico right there.
Irate, he missed that free throw. Arbitrating on the bench with his 4. You have the freshman in Bullion. Don't be fooled by that term freshman, though. He's 23 years old and plays every bit of that experience. Crowd wanted a foul. Weems hit the floor. Comer bump, no whistle there. Shot clock at 8. Lowry stops. Camper Jr. needs to attack against 3, and finally the call.
If you're going to give up something to drive, it's going to give up to Camper Jr.
Second foul on Albury. Getting to these crunch moments, you can tell by the look of both of these coaches' face. Tightly contested, ending the night in the Mountain West. CBS Sports Network's coverage of college hoops continues tomorrow. 3 more. South Dakota hosting Omaha. Of course, the Mountain West. UNLV, Grand Canyon, 9 Eastern. Cap off tonight. We go to the West Coast Conference. St. Mary's and Santa Clara. That's always a good one. 11 Eastern. NCAA tournament resumes for both of those teams. 11th seed, CBS Sports bracketology for Santa Clara. St. Mary's as a 10th seed. It's been a really good season for Santa Clara. St. Mary's, you feel like they're always right in this picture, but that'll be a good one late in the night tomorrow right here on CBS Sports Network.
2 good teams out west. A fun one to watch. St. Mary's has got some big boys down there.
This game is some big boys too.
Yeah.
Corey Camper Jr. Big miss.
I think this game is going to come down to who is going to accept the physicality and keep attacking and not give in and take these easy shots.
Best free throw shooter on the team at 78%. Camper is 11, struggling from the floor, 3 for 11. On the flip side, New Mexico, 10 of 16 shooting in the second half after a ghastly first half. More like the Lobos we've seen most of this season, on the borderline of the NCAA tournament.
Rock's got a roll right there. He wants the 3 ball, though.
That's
He'll
why! Take that, John Henson!
That's 5 points. New Mexico doesn't lose when he scores 5 points. Don't want to jinx him, but big shot by him.
And he's been big from 3. He's now 6 for 7 from 3 in the last 5 games. Camper much more of a volume shooter. Weems had it initially. Hall! And that is why the Lobos love him. It's not just the scoring, which he can certainly do.
50-50 ball right there. That was just, I wanted more moment.
Price pulls the chair. Hopped against him. Man-to-man defense that has been tough to solve.
I thought he was going to take that.
Hop pump fake. Price bites. Hopped elevates to net. No.
Hop's going to try to put it on his head right there.
When they go Statue of Liberty and put their arm in the air, you start leaning forward. Price, mid-range, bucket. Back to a 4-point game with 6 minutes left.
Rhythm right there, shot. He just pulled his jersey. I don't know if Coach Offer wants to take a timeout or sub him out. I think he might need a break.
takes an extra beat on the ground to catch the breath after New Mexico gives it away. Their tournament resume. Last four in, according to CBS Sports Bracketology. This right here is a quad one opportunity. A chance for their third quad one win. One more quad one as it sits right now on their regular season schedule against Utah State in the finale.
It's crunch time right now, the last 6 minutes. Price out right now. I don't know if I'm hitting shots like that, I'm not coming out. I would have laid on the floor a little longer, took a little time, told my teammates they need him right now in this crucial kind of stretch these last 5 minutes. They've got to get him back in fast.
With him on the bench, it's Camper curling around, gets it on the window, and a whistle. Corey Camper Jr. gets the crowd on their feet. Second on Hop.
Known for his prolific three-point shooting, he's been getting to the lane and having some tough, crafty finishes. Right here, gets around Hopped, which is a mismatch. Hopped is a little bigger, not as fast, and he's been taking advantage of that lately.
And this has been a different style for Camper Jr. in this game. Not just perimeter focus. He's getting his buckets on the interior, and he has Nevada back within one. Tenet has it taken away. Regathers from the Comer reach. Tenet needs to get rid of it and throws it high into the backcourt. It's backcourt violation. Reno, the microphone is yours.
Good hands by Comer, and just got New Mexico all out of sorts offensively, causing the turnover, and offered fist pump to know this is a big-time game for them as they finally healthy, trying to stack these wins going to the Mountain West tournament.
Similar to the Utah State game at home on Saturday. Down 8 in the second half. Fought their way back. Coleman inside. Won't go on the tip back. Camper Jr. and Hop collide. Tie up. And the arrow keeps it with Nevada.
Credit to Hall making Camper Jr. drive, and then the verticality by Hopped. This is a high-level defensive possession right there.
I mean, you pronounce his name Hop like H-O-P-P-E-D, so he probably should have good verticality. Nevada can take the lead with a bucket. Last lead was early in the second half. 25-23. Weems knocked away from him. Hall deflected, but it gets back to Weems, who has 16 points, which ties his season high.
Got to get Bouillon here to take advantage of a big that hasn't been in the game the whole second half. You got to get him the ball. Bouillon's got to come post right here. He has the advantage.
Lowry didn't like it. And this will be a 1-and-1 upcoming.
Good hands by Hall right here, but he picks it up. Hot potato gets it into the basket with the left.
So that's a bad one when you're that far away from the rim, trapped by the sideline, to, in a way, bail out Hop and send him to the line. The first foul on Lowry. And the 1-and-1 coming up for the 70.6% free throw shooter.
A game we thought would come down the stretch and be close. It's turning into a potential classic again, like last year.
Like every year. First point for Hop. 2 for 2 to give New Mexico the lead. There's been overtimes. There's been buzzer beaters. There's been both of them in the same game over the last few years between these teams. Off-ball foul on the baseline. Oh, New Mexico, and that's team foul 7, so the 1-and-1 coming up. Bouillon, the foul.
Cross screen for Price right here. Kemper Jr. kind of sets a sliding screen and puts Bouillon in a position to where he kind of has to foul Price to get around. Good play drawn up by Coach Alford.
Perfect on the front end. So it starts to be decision time. With 4:08 left, you're thinking about closing lineups. If you're Coach Alford, do you close with a lineup of Price at center? Or do you close with a lineup of Price at the 4 and perhaps bring back Armo Trading at some point? Now keep in mind, Armo Trading has 4 fouls.
You know, I think right now you see what this lineup looks like the next minute and a half. If the physicality of Bouillon is starting to affect the game, you bring in Armo Trading. If not, you roll with what you've been rolling with for the majority of the year. Price at the 5.
Rejected. Price from the weak side, out of bounds. We'll stay here after the break. Of course, it's within the balance with less than 4 between these teams with so much at stake. You're watching March to March, presented by Principal. Time now for the Geico play of the game. And Armo Trading Thunder.
Nice dunk by Armo Trading. Look, there's floor spacers from the 3 and there's vertical floor spacers. So Armo Trading is a vertical floor spacer. Gets up above that rim. The defense has to account for him. That matters.
Game reset. Multiple timeouts, both teams. Challenges. Neither team has used one left. Of course, you have to have a timeout remaining to use a challenge. And the arrow, as it stands, is with New Mexico. Uriah Tenet was fouled by Elijah Price when we stepped away. Just a second on Price, but a big call. 1-and-1 for Tenet. Great free throw shooter all around the rim and out. He's the team's best at 86%. So Nevada holds their 1-point lead. Looking for back-to-back home wins against 2 of the top teams in the Mountain West. Beat Utah State on Saturday. Price throws it away. Price now have a chance to beat New Mexico on a Tuesday.
A little too overzealous right there on that back door. That wasn't there. Probably got a little excited to dime his teammate. But those are the 2 guys down the stretch that Nevada are going to have to go to. They'll be seeing the ball a lot these next 3 minutes.
Yeah, 10th double-double for Price. He's behind Bouillon in the conference for double-doubles this season. Hall creates space. Can't bury it. Ball flicked up, but a loose ball foul, and Bouillon will head to the line. And it's the 10th on Nevada, so it's shooting 2. And Alford can't believe it.
Another possession right there where Armo Trading might have been able to hold Bouillon off. Price is a smaller defender.
What do you see there as Price gets called?
Just, hey, look, he's trying to box him out. Bouillon's second effort creates the foul.
Shooting 2. Bouillon's like, guys, I'm 23 years old. I've seen some basketball. I know what the difference between 1-and-1 and shooting 2 is. Misses on both. So a miss front end of the 1-and-1 and then a miss on both free throws. And Nevada still leads by 1. Out of bounds stays here.
Nevada's got to understand, hey, it's about to get physical. These passes and things that we're going through before are not, they've been a little shaky with the ball these last 2 possessions.
Nevada team that started the season 11-3, 7-6 since. Price back in. Hesitation, Rollison. Weems left open, turns down to 3. Dribble drive instead, and a great decision. A new season high, 18 for Weems, the breakout game. Hall, leading scorer for New Mexico, both this game and this season. Not this time. Weems pulls. If you're just joining us, it was Nevada that took the early lead in this game. A big lead, 10-2. It was New Mexico late first half, early second half, gaining their separation. Each team's led by as many as 9. New Mexico squarely on the bubble. CBS Sports Bracketology, last 4 in. Weems trying to knock him out.
He is feeling it right now. The little left-hand finish has been there for him all game. He's been big time for this Nevada team. Some unexpected offense, even though he's been playing well lately.
He's been the New Mexico thorn in their side. Weems, you see this one as he lays it in. He scored 16 in the game on the 24th of January against New Mexico. That was his season high. Before tonight, where he's put up 20. Meanwhile, New Mexico has been kept off the board from the floor since the 7:07 mark. That was when JT Rock hit that three-pointer. That was their last field goal.
Seems like ages ago.
All right, so your coach, Eric Olin. What do you talk about here? What do you come up with suddenly down 5 late?
Well, you've been trying to do ISOs, kind of get ISOs with Hall. Hasn't been working. Now you got to run your offense. Get Hall to come off a screen up top. A pick and roll, I think, with Bouillon would be best. And get some flow in your offense. Get 2 feet in the paint and kick out. That's what you do.
Hall curls.
Here it comes. Pick and roll.
Uses the ball fake. Albury's turn, but Rollison giving him nothing. They switch to net. Picked up by Rollison. Shot clock at 5. Rollison still on the ball. To net leaner. Big time shot.
Leaning to the right. Forward shooting left. I mean, that's about as tough as it gets for the freshman right there. Big time crowd silencing finish right there.
Welcome to another late night Mountain West showdown. Coach Steve Alford calls timeout with 85 seconds left. Is Wolfpack up 3. Coming up next, in-depth highlights and analysis. Latest hoops action, we go coast to coast. Inside college basketball right here on CBS Sports Network. Always credit the guys in New York staying up late with us. We have a fun one, 59-56. I mean, to net, that was tough for a guy listed at 5'11". Contested, buried it. One of the best bench scorers in the country, especially as a freshman. So now the burden back to Nevada. A chance to make it a 2-possession game.
I think you put the ball in your 2 best players' hands, Camper Jr. and Price. Maybe run like a screen coming back. Get Camper Jr. coming off. Maybe take advantage of the switch.
These teams play close games frequently. Overtimes. Buzzer beaters have been in these teams' history over the last 3 seasons.
A good old stack play right there. Camper Jr. didn't set a great screen on.
But it doesn't matter. Camper Jr. creates himself with a spin move. Back up 5. A minute left. Bouillon with Price on him. Hall, best 3-point shooter. Fading, leaning, no. Bouillon boards, up with it. And a foul. 2 free throws coming as Price commits his 4th. 50.4 left. An animated Alford. A much more stoic Olin.
He's telling Price, look, we got a rebound. That's the ball game right there. If they get a stop. Bouillon with a strong finish.
Officials looked over to New Mexico. And a timeout.
I think there's something with the clock. They were saying.
Review is for timing. The clock ran after the whistle.
A little home cooking, never, try a little home cooking, a couple seconds off.
So not a timeout, just looking at the clock. see right there a little bit of movement after New Mexico caught it.
51.8 will be put on the clock.
All right, 51.8.
Good catch by the refs, by the way.
And some assistance from the Lobo bench. All right, Nevada talked about the losing streak against New Mexico. They dropped 5 in a row. Last win, February 7th, 2023. And you know it's painful for Coach Alford, who used to coach at New Mexico. He won the first 8 games against his former team and then dropped 5 in a row. Bullion missed 2 earlier, 65% from the line. Cool on the first. 6 points, make it 7 for him and 12 rebounds. But Lee's one more at the line, still a 4-point game, and then a foul on the box out. So we will walk the floor for the 1-and-1. It's a foul on Hocht.
You almost want them not to call a foul and then run the clock out. So at least in one possession, you know, with a 2-possession game. If he misses this,
yeah,
New Mexico can make it a 1-possession game and still get the ball. So interesting.
Bryce is a good free throw shooter, especially for a big, 75%. He's 5 for 7 in this game. Front end, front rim.
Nice soft touch right there.
He has put the team on his back in the second half. Perfect on the second.
New Mexico's got to get a shot before the 30-second mark to try.
Hop to the rim, rolls off. Camper Jr. elevates, and a whistle. He will go to the free throw line. Nevada similar to Saturday with a closing kick.
Coach Alford's telling Price, hey, huddle up. It's not over yet. Savvy veteran coach right there.
What a 2-game stretch this would be for Nevada. And was coming off of 2 losses in which Coach Alford told us we didn't play well against San Diego State, and a loss to San Jose State, that's rough. But you follow that up with a win at home against Utah State. Front end Camper. All right, now 37.7 away of 3 possessions from taking out New Mexico. And a tough shooting night. Camper Jr. has the roll from the line. Most of the crowd here on their feet. Hall bricks it. Rebound volley. Price, of course, throws it ahead. Camper, oh yeah! The Lawlor loudness. Rock throws that one in with 17.6. 7-point game and a timeout called by New Mexico. Their final.
What an environment, a game for Nevada. Icing on the cake right here. Camper showing the bounce. Just a great game. Nevada has shown the last couple games, hey, look, we got to stick around. Let's keep fighting. They're hitting shots. And they come out here on top.
Nevada trying to do something they haven't done since this game at the pit. February 7th, 2023, Jamal Mashburn Jr., that jumper. But, you know, Blackshear just has that mid-range. It was fun to watch here. Right at the buzzer to give Nevada the win. We said it, buzzer beaters in overtime have been the themes of these 2 teams when they square off against each other. Very rarely is it more than a 1-possession game. Anything you can do to make noise. The Lawlor Event Center has been rocking tonight. Two teams that will be in the Mountain West moving forward, so this series can continue some of the classics that we've seen. 17.6. Nevada basketball up by 7. As a team, the 4th best free throw shooting in the conference at 76%. Football style inbounds. Saw them working on this set specifically earlier on today. A blocking foul before it's even inbounded on Hobbs, which is an interesting move. You see Marcus Smart in the NBA is a classic at this, trying to draw the charge before the ball is inbounded and try to flip the turnover is what you need. But Hobbs with the foul, he's done, his 5th. They'll make Lowry strut to the stripe for 2. Started 19 straight games. Most of that with Armo trading, was out of the lineup with an injury. Misses that one. Again, a 3-possession lead. No matter what on this second free throw. This would end a 3-game New Mexico winning streak. Misses both. Door left ajar. Still just 13 left to net. No, and that should do it. Rollison rebounds. Saves it from going out of bounds. Lobos say we will not foul. And Nevada back-to-back home excellent performances. And the Wolfpack do not count them out in the Mountain West. 67-60. They take down New Mexico. First win against the Lobos since that game at the Pit back in 2023. It ends the 5-game losing streak against what is becoming a conference rival. Updated Mountain West standings. So New Mexico set back. They're a half game back of San Diego State. And now 2 in the loss column from Utah State. Nevada with a win. They're 1 back in New Mexico. And you look ahead at what Nevada has going forward at UNLV on CBS Sports Network over the weekend. Silver State Series is always a good one. Then at Wyoming versus Air Force. A chance to make up some ground. Inside College Basketball is next. For John Henson and our entire crew, I'm Chris Lewis. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Nevada, the winners. We send it to New York. Brent Stover and the crew. See ya from Reno.